Hey everyone, Chef Mark, welcome back. Today it is side dishes. It's spring. We're going to be grilling all summer. So I have a great side dish I'm going to share with you. I'm going to show you the secrets of grilled carrots. Let's get started. Grilled carrots is something I stumbled upon quite by accident. We were having people over for dinner at the last minute and I just had to throw on the grill whatever I had. I had some carrots and hence a new favorite, family favorite side dish was invented. Mise en place. Trash bowl, a large chef's knife. You're not gonna pull this off with a little paring knife. You need a big old knife. Nice size cutting board. Vegetable peeler. I like the OXO brand vegetable peeler. And finally, a nice bundle of carrots. You need more than you think. This is really enough for maybe 3 or 4 people. They're so delicious, you're gonna want a big pile of them. All right, so what am I gonna do? I'm going to start peeling carrots. And of course, as we all know, if you've been watching the video, a carrot peeler works in both directions. Just rotate the carrot as you swipe back and forth. You can make short work of peeling carrots. Carrots are peeled. You'll note that I left the root end, both ends on. And that's just because I'm going to pick up the knife here in a moment. No need to cut those off and then go back and peel them and then go back and pick up your knife again. So skip a step. Leave those on after they're peeled. Peel them all, and then we're going to go through and cut them all. So this is where it gets tricky, is cutting this lengthwise. We're going to need to do the bridge grip. And the bridge grip means that we're going to reach over like so. Try to show you here, but see how this is wobbly? And that's not very ideal. So what I like to do is get the tip of the knife down on the cutting board. That creates structure. And then I can make one nice long cut. Now they're cut in half. You can either take advantage of the flat side. I actually leave these round side up and do what I call the kickstand method. So I come in underneath with my thumb, kind of dig my fingernails in like so, and then I cut once. If they're really big carrots, I can cut twice. So I'm looking for these big, long batons. If I'm going to do it flat side down, this one I'm going to get 2 cuts out of. Oop, lost one. That's okay. So cut. All right. And you need a large knife. This is a 12-inch chef knife. If you don't have a large chef knife, this was a Dexter. And I got this at the restaurant supply store for $45. And if you've been tuned into the channel before, you know I'm a really big fan of the Acero knives, which are in the $20 range for one of their 10-inch knives, and you need a knife that large. The Vostok, I love using that as well on this job, but you can see this is a lot of work. You know, I kind of discovered this side dish after I stopped working in restaurants, so I've never had it on a restaurant menu, and honestly, I would hesitate to put it on a restaurant menu because if it were a good seller, it's so much handwork. I can't think of a machine that could do this. That you know, it requires a fairly advanced set of knife skills to cut these consistently. Okay, nice pile now. So what's next? Well, I'll tell you what's next. These are going to get grilled. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put these in a food storage bag. And it is raining like crazy right this moment. So tomorrow, when it's a little sunnier out, I'm going to march these across the grill. I'm going to show you how to season them and how I like to serve them. Okay, welcome back to the Urban Homestead. We're going to do some grilling. Now, I must warn you, my grill is embarrassingly small. It's something that I purchased when I was living in an apartment. It had a little patio, but I love it because it's high powered, heats up fast. It actually does the trick for me. So until I upgrade, this is what we got to work with. You might hear some barking in the background. That's Roger, my dog, our mascot. This is his yard. He just lets us live here. Let's do some grilling. You want your grill to be hot enough that you can grill the entire time with the lid open so you get that convection and flow through of heat. Once you close the lid, you technically go from grilling to baking. And we don't want to bake our food. We want to have that char, and the way you develop char is by having the lid open, and again, you're replacing the heat that's constantly radiating up and through the food. Once you close the lid, the heat becomes static, and it's just a box of hot air at that point. If you have a grill with a thermometer, keep in mind that it's not a very good indication of how hot your grill is. All it really does is indicate how hot the thermometer is. So I don't use that as a guide to how hot my thermometer is. And as always, I like to preheat my grill on low for 35, 45 minutes if I have the time. Today I don't, so I'm going to crank her up on the high. I'm feeling good heat radiating through. We're almost ready to grill. I like a sheet pan, known as a half sheet pan or a jelly roll rack, with one of these handy rusting racks here. This is very important. It's a cooling rack. And just a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, salt, and pepper. I just mixed it in the produce bag so I bought the carrots in a produce bag, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, salt, and pepper, and on we go. Okay, beautiful. Now, they cook fairly quickly. And we really just kind of want to get them set. Like so. You don't have to go crazy. It's not like each and every one has to be perfectly set out. But consistent isn't bad. And of course we have hot and cold zones, so on this particular grill, the farther back we are, the hotter it is, and the more towards the middle here, the hotter it is. So I will typically rotate to keep the hot zones, keep the carrots flipping out on the hot zones here, so that I'm getting consistent heat. You can cut these carrots a day or two in advance, but more than that, I find that they lose their freshness. Honestly, the best way to do is cut them and cook them immediately. These were, of course, cut yesterday from the earlier part of this video, and they're fine. They are plenty crispy, and they're going to work great. Okay, I'm just going to let these sit here for a few minutes. I'm just going to leave them alone. A big part of grilling is knowing when to stop working, and now is a good time to stop working. Let's let this go ahead and cook. Okay, it's been a few minutes now, and remember, time is the worst indicator of doneness when it comes to really anything, but specifically grilling. And I hear it all the time. When I grill, I do 3 minutes on each side and I flip back and forth. There's some problems with that. You don't have as much control if you just kind of tie down to a timer. So what tells us good doneness? Well, the visual cue, GBD, golden brown delicious. These look great. Okay. Really happy with how these are turning out. I'm going to give them a little flip here. Fantastic. So what I like to do is give them a flip, and then I'm going to start cherry picking the ones that have good doneness. I'm going to start taking those off one at a time, and what that will do is create more room for the ones that need more time to cook. Plenty of heat radiating through this. Even though it's windy and cool out today, very moist in the air, this little grill is doing the trick. All right, here we go. This one's beautiful. Okay, you can see it's cooked on all sides. And it takes on almost like a translucent appearance to them. They almost have a consistent wetness to them, good moisture. Those all look good. And it's okay if they're not perfectly consistent, but what we're looking for, and if it's possible to think about doneness with vegetables, is that we're looking for medium rare to medium. So balancing, getting the good caramelization along with proper doneness does take a little bit of work. It's looking good. So this one's barely been cooked. This one, I probably could have used another whack of the knife. It's a little on the big side. So these big guys, I'm going to set right here in the middle. The big tree right above me, and it's spitting on me just a touch. Windy out here. Okay. There we go. A little pro tip: if you're going to step away from your grill and you're worried about forgetting your food on the grill, just set a timer. You know, ask your Alexa to set a timer for just a couple minutes, 5 minutes or so. you'd be surprised at how quickly 5 minutes can go by if you get distracted by something else. But these sat for, oh gosh, I'll have to look back at the video, but I think it's 4 minutes, and they're almost completely cooked in that amount of time. This bundle looks great. Now, you can see I've got this resting tray right here, and that's really important. That prevents overcooking. It keeps things from steaming in their own juices. It gives you good accuracy on your cook. What it basically does is when you take your carrot or your vegetable or anything really, and you take it off the grill and set it on the resting rack, you're basically turning off the cooking. And that's how you get good control over anything that you're making. As I might have mentioned before, grilled carrots are one of my favorite dishes to serve. It's something that we just love around here. I would even go as far as to say it's one of my signature dishes. What do you serve this with? Well, I love serving it with a tzatziki sauce. They're both delicious, hot and cold. So if you're not wanting to slave over the grill, go ahead and cook them off. Let them rest. You can serve them refrigerated. And here's the fun part. They taste almost exactly like a sweet potato fry. And I think that's really fun. So if you haven't experienced grilled carrots before, give them a shot. And then let me know what you think. This is Chef Mark. As always, thanks for tuning in. Delicious.